Good evening, viewers. Thank you for joining us. This is an English bulletin of news in English from Dalsan TV. My name is Eunice Deco, and these are some of our top news headlines. Prime Minister Hamza Barre, Somali leaders visit injured Somalis during Hayat attack, vowing action after the deadly hotel siege. Goodlawe lays foundation for Mataban Airport in Hirshabelle. And Somali female boxer Ramla Ali wins bout in a knockout in the first ever women boxing in Saudi Arabia. Welcome to this edition of news from Dalsan TV. Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre has pledged to hold accountable officials who failed to prevent the deadly Al-Shabaab attack on Hayat Hotel in the Somali capital Mogadishu. The head of cabinet visited the wounded who are recuperating at various hospitals in Mogadishu.
Prime Minister Hamza Abdi Barre on Sunday visited those injured in the complex Al-Shabaab attack targeting a hotel in the Somali capital Mogadishu. Accompanied by senior leaders of the federal government of Somalia, the Prime Minister empathized with the innocent men and women violated by what he called a senseless violence. Over 100 people are receiving treatment at various hospitals in Mogadishu. According to data released by the Federal Ministry of Health, 21 people died in the attack claimed by Al-Shabaab. Those who have been critically injured will be taken outside the country for further and specialized treatment. The government is also planning to airlift victims of mortar shellings at a residential area in Mogadishu. Mr. Hamza condemned Friday attack, calling on members of the public to take responsibility in securing the country. He said security is a joint responsibility between citizen and the government. The Prime Minister, who was speaking for the first time since the siege began, urged Somalis to inform the police and authorities of any suspicious individual or action they might have noticed. Mr. Hamza Barre said the government has resolved to maintain security across the country and they are determined to end the war against the militants who besieged the Mogadishu hotel for over 30 hours.
There will be accountability within the government. The state takes full responsibility for everything that has happened. We will hold accountable everyone who was tasked with securing our people.
He commended the work of Somali's allied forces who neutralized the attackers whose number is still unknown. He said they will continue taking every step to making Somalia inhospitable to terrorist groups and network. The Premier said the government will seek out every single person that was involved in the funding, planning and execution of the heinous act. During the attack, the operational priority of the Somali Security Service was to safeguard civilians trapped within the hotel. They contained the attackers and methodically evacuated those who were at risk. 106 people were rescued from the attack. That was the country's longest siege conducted by Al-Shabaab since they started operation 15 years ago.
Meanwhile, a video journalist working with a local television has been shot and injured while covering Al-Shabaab's siege at Hayat Hotel in Mogadishu. Leading Somali Journalists Association, including the Somali Journalists Syndicate (SJS) and the Somali Media Association (SOMA), have strongly condemned the shooting of the journalist by security agencies.
Somali Journalists Syndicate and the Somali Media Association have strongly condemned the shooting of M24 TV camera journalist Ahmed Omar Nur by Haramad police while covering the Hayat Hotel attack in Mogadishu on Sunday. The camera journalist was among a group of local journalists covering the Hayat Hotel attack from Kilometer 4 junction since Friday. Colleagues who witnessed the shooting said a group of the Turkish-trained Haramad police officers were standing nearby when one of them shot at the journalist. No explanation was provided on the circumstance of the shooting. He was rushed to the hospital where doctors conducted emergency surgery on his cheek. SJS Secretary General Abdullah Ahmed Mu'min and other media directors visited the injured in the hospital in a show of solidarity. SJS and SOMA are calling for the authorities of the Somali government to launch a prompt, thorough and transparent independent circumstance of the shooting of M24 TV journalist Ahmed Omar Nur. Last year, 105 incidents of media violations were recorded, largely targeting on-duty journalists. The figure represents a 62% increase from 2020 and the highest caseload recorded in a decade, and includes 2 cases of murder, 66 arrests, 14 media outlet raids, 14 physical assaults, 13 cases of harassment, and 2 sham trials.
In the first ever women's fight to take place in Saudi Arabia, British Somali Ramla Ali knocked out Dominican Republic Crystal Garcia Nova in the first round. The London-based model and activist bet opponent Crystal Garcia Nova during the Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk undercard in Saudi Arabia. The super bantamweight boxing fight was over in just 1 minute and 5 seconds as Ali secured a knockout victory at King Abdullah Sports City in Jeddah. I'm looking forward to having a little break now because my last 2 fights I've been fighting and training with a fractured wrist and toe, said Ali. But this was a massive opportunity and I couldn't say no even though I have been in the world of pain, she added. Saturday's victory expands the former Olympian's unbeaten professional record to 7 wins. Meanwhile, President Ali Goodlawe of the federal state of Hirshabelle has today laid the foundation stone for the construction of a new airport in the state. At a ceremony in Mataban, the regional president, accompanied by other senior government officials, said the construction of the new airport will be a relief to the people in the area. Hebaq Ahmed with the details.
President Ali Hassan Goodlawe of Hirshabelle has laid the foundation for the construction of Mataban Airport. The construction of an airport in the area is part of enhancing the status of Mataban town while opening up the town in the regional state for trade and business. The local airport, whose construction is funded by the local residents and state government, will boost the region's communication and aviation sector. Upon completion, the new airport is targeting travelers comprising traders, investors, government workers, and employees of local and international aid agencies in the region. President Ali Hassan Goodlawe called on the residents of the state to take part in the construction of this important social development initiative. The airport will benefit livestock farmers, tourism, and agriculture by making it easier to export livestock products to key markets. Mataban Airport is also expected to facilitate transport within the Horn of Africa country and in the regional state, given its strategic location. Upon completion, the airport will provide numerous employment opportunities for people in the area, especially the youth. The president pointed out that the airport complements other infrastructure projects that the state government is carrying out in the region.
I am delighted to officiate the official commencement of the construction of Mataban Airport. This is an area that accommodates lots of people, and this is an initiative that I highly commend. Our business people, community leaders, and the general public have all committed to make this project a success.
Mataban is located 60 kilometers northeast of the regional state's capital, Beledweyne. Most of Somalia is accessible only by air, Al-Shabaab having disconnected supply routes of major towns. Several private airlines based in East Africa, including Kenya's African Express and SACS, as well as Somali-owned private carriers like Juba Airways and Dalo Airlines, all currently fly into Mogadishu and the rest of the country.
Meanwhile, Mogadishu's mayor and Banadr governor Omar Mahmoud Filish has condemned Friday's Al-Shabaab attack targeting a hotel in the capital where an unknown number of gunmen went into the hotel, killing people indiscriminately. The Mogadishu boss said the siege was unacceptable, declaring a new war against the militant who have besieged the federal government of Somalia.
The mayor of Mogadishu and the governor of Banadr region, Omar Mahmoud Filish, has called on the public to stand united and asked security agencies to act swiftly on intelligence in order to prevent terrorist attacks. This follows Al-Shabaab 30-hour-long siege at a hotel in Mogadishu, killing at least 21 people, according to data released by the Somali Federal Ministry of Health. He has also urged Somalis to remain united in prayer, for the victims of the Hotel Hayat attack and their families. Mr. Filish asked Somalis to be responsible and help the government in fighting terrorism by giving information. In order to effectively combat the terrorists, Mayor Omar Filish said the government must have information and cooperation from the parents and families of those who are being radicalized, as well from the community leaders.
Such heinous acts and the organizations that plan such things will come to an end. Honestly, this is very painful and it is recurrent. This is totally unacceptable.
Mogadishu. This was the biggest attack in Mogadishu since Somalia's new president Hassan Sheikh Mohamud took office in June, and underscores the huge challenges of trying to crush the 15-year militant group. The hotel, a popular spot for government officials, has been destroyed after security forces pounded it with heavy weapons late Saturday in a bid to eliminate the assailants who were holed up there for a second straight night. The assailant used explosives to gain entry to Mogadishu Hotel before violently taking control. Al-Shabaab, which has carried numerous deadly attacks in its war against the fragile government in the Horn of African nation, has claimed responsibility.
And with that story, we come to the end of this broadcast from Dalsan TV. Until we meet again, enjoy the rest of your viewing. My name is Eunice Deco. Have a lovely time and keep it Dalsan TV for the latest news from Somalia in both English and Somali.